In the summer of 1904, a young woman named Anna Gray was laying in her bed in her second-story room in a bed and breakfast in Chicago, Illinois. Anna felt so frustrated that she was not able to sleep. She just hopped out of her bed and walked over to the window, and she opened it up to let in some fresh air. Just a couple minutes later, she had fallen asleep. But several hours later, Anna suddenly woke up. She just has this weird feeling that something just feels off in the room. Anna sits up in her bed. As she scans the room, her eyes stop on the open window. There is a man sitting on the windowsill, looking into the room right at her. She had leapt out of the bed to confront this man. But the man, as soon as she jumped up, almost like delicately, he leaned backwards and fell out the window. We're on the second floor, and so she runs to the window, looking out, expecting to see this guy with a broken neck down on the ground. There's nobody there. And then at some point, she notices there's this dark car that's parked out on the street underneath the streetlight, and she realizes there's somebody in the car. The driver begins to move, and they look up at Anna, and Anna realizes it's the same guy. He extends his hand out the driver's side window and begins beckoning to Anna, telling her to come down and get in the car with him. The car he is in is a hearse, and instinctively, she just jumps back, slams the window, and sort of just pretends like this can't be happening, like this is not real. But then, after a couple of seconds, she's thinking, I gotta make sure I know where this guy is, where he's gonna go next. She goes right back to the window to see what he's doing. But now the hearse, the man, they're gone. This guy doesn't reappear. Eventually, she crawls back in bed, and after what felt like forever, she drifted off into a fairly light sleep. She opened her eyes again, and sunlight had filled the room. She had survived the night. She headed out to the brand new department store, and for the next several hours, Anna just has a great time enjoying shopping. When she was up on the fourth floor, after she had purchased all the things she was going to buy, she decided it was time to leave. She makes her way over to the elevator. She hits the button. The doors open up, and there's loads of people on this elevator car. It is packed. And I kind of waved them off and said, I'll take the next one. Doors don't close. She hears this voice come out of the elevator car, and it's this kind of rude tone. It's a man's voice. And he calls out, one more. And she looked into the elevator car, and she noticed it was coming from the guy who operated the elevator car. When the guy kind of poked his head through and looked at her, she realized that the elevator car operator was the man in the hearse that she had seen in her windowsill. It was the same guy. And just was like, no, I'm not going in there. No. Then the doors closed, and the elevator disappeared. And she suddenly heard this loud, metallic, crunching sound inside of the elevator shaft, followed by what was obviously people screaming. It would turn out that elevator car, as it began its descent, malfunctioned and fell 4 stories, killing 2 people on board. We don't really know much more about what ultimately happened with the elevator operator, but what we do know is Anna did speak to reporters, and they did widely publish the story.